say, first of all, that we love you, and we want to say thank you from all of our heart. There's no way to express the thanks and just what we feel for you guys and for all the years that you've supported us down there. It's been many, many, many years. And before I get started, and Jonathan's going to share up here, he's got something really wonderful to share with you guys. I want to share on behalf of my wife. Many of you are asking about her. She sends a big hug, a big hug for everybody here. She loves you and just thinks about you guys. She sent some very special things for you, especially the TOT Club members and for the church. And we have a little plaque for you guys. We have all this stuff, and she did it all. She's the author of all that stuff because she says, I can't do a lot. She's got a chronic fatigue syndrome right now, and she's very weak and very dizzy. So she can't do very much, but she said her mind's coming back where she can order and work through people. So she did some very special things for you, and she just says to say, thank you, thank you, thank you for everything. And we want to say thank you. Here we have Susan Callahan here representing IRT. And anybody who doesn't know International Reef Teams, they're kind of like the other half of our support. And it's a big blessing to have you here and your husband, Eamon. And big blessings for you guys. So I want to say thank you. And Jonathan, why don't you bring one of those plaques up here. I was going to do this at the end, but I'm going to do them right away. Might as well do it. You got those plaques? And we have two. We have two plaques here, one for NCPC and one for IRT. They have every one of our kids on here, and they have every one of our families. They're in families here, and they have Reino de los Niños, and it says North Coast Presbyterian Church, and the one behind it says International Relief Teams, and it says 100 years from now. It says 100 years ago, it will not matter what kind of car you drove or the sort of house you lived in, but the world may be different because you were an important person. You're important in the life of a child. And that's what we want to say to you guys. You guys are an important part of the life of our children. And it has a verse here from Hebrews 6:10. It says, God is not unjust, and he will not forget your work and love you have shown him as you have helped his people and continue to help them, from the NIV version. So these are plaques that just express a little bit of our love, and we want to thank you for that. And Susan, you can come up and get yours, and John Pelosi, you can come up and get the one for NCPC here. Okay. Thank you so much. And this is just a little token of everything that you guys do for us, which is so wonderful. And Stella, you're welcome. Graciela was a missionary with us for 16 years, and she came back in December, and she's been visiting us. She'll be with us for about another month. And she worked and did all the work on those. A lot of work went into those. And it's a good thing to put on your wall. And remember us when you want to remember the kids, because you got them all on there. Every one of them that's there right now. So it's a big blessing. Well, we had a 20th anniversary. We've been at the orphanage for 23 years now. This May we have. And on our 20th anniversary, we had a lot of the alumni come back, and one of our boys put them all up on the big stage at the orphanage. And he had every one of them share something with us, with my wife and I and the staff. And it was a very special time. Many of them had tears coming out of their eyes and thanking just for everything that we were able to do to them, to give them their life. And you're going to hear it from Jonathan personally right now. But it was a very, very special time. But two of the boys, Jose and Armando, thought about you guys. And when I say you guys, they came up there and almost with tears in their eyes, they said, you know what? One thing we probably didn't do a whole lot when we were younger. We didn't say thank you as much as we would have liked to the groups come down and support us. And they said right there, they looked into the camera, looked into the people there and said, I want you guys to know that we thank you, and I want you to tell everybody out there who's ever supported the orphanage, thank you on behalf of the alumni. And these are 35-year-old guys, I still call them kids, 35-year-old adults there with their kids, with 3 or 4 kids, and saying that you guys are the ones that helped them to be able to have a life now by being an important person in the life of one of these children. And I just want to say that on his behalf, on Jose and Armando's behalf, and on my wife especially. Thank you for everything that you're doing. I have 2 verses here. James 1:27. We all know it. Just listen to it. It says, pure and genuine religion in the sight of God, the Father, means caring for the orphans and widows in their distress and refusing to let the world corrupt you. And I just want to say that you guys are practicing true and genuine religion by doing what you're doing. And right now, the little auctions and the silent auctions and everything, they're fun. You guys actually get something out of it, which is neat. But the biggest thing you get is you're helping these kids that you'll never know until we get to heaven how much it helped them. You'll never know. My idea of heaven is that there's lines, and you're going to be sitting at a table, and there's lines of people that are coming up and saying, thank you for what you did on this earth. Well, that's my idea of heaven, because I think it's the most wonderful thing on this earth, so it's probably better than heaven. And I'm going to be in somebody else's line thanking them too, in one of your lines. Because that's what I think. I think in heaven we'll be so full of gratitude that that's what it's going to be. We're just going to burst with gratitude. And it's going to be the most wonderful thing in the world. You're going to have these orphans lining up behind your table saying, thank you for giving that money that you gave. Thank you for being my Tia Club. Jonathan's going to share a little bit, but King Schultz and Paula, I mean, what can I say? He's on my favorite guy list in this world, and just everything he's done, and come to the orphanage. And he came to the orphanage in 1989, okay? He just came there, showed up with a group from NCPC. And I want to tell you guys, it's been 1989 to 2012, and I think it's around 13 years that you guys, that's 23, excuse me, 23 years, just like our orphanage, that you guys have been helping at the orphanage. And King came from the beginning, and he's still here by God's grace. And Lord, God, just what can I say about King? I think you guys know already. It's full of God's grace, you know? And he's been Jonathan's Tia Club since we started like 12 years ago. And a very important person. I have a picture about the first Fiesta Night with Jonathan's picture, like you guys have on there, and a picture he's smiling there. Which before I leave tonight, I would love you to grab your picture of your kid and come up to me, and we'll take a picture of you with this picture. Because he's gonna see the face with his picture in your hand and know that you are his Tio and Tia. And that's what brings the face and the personality into that person over there. Now we have these special cards that we have for you guys. Can you show me one of the cards there? Is it Lux there? We have these special cards for you which our kids made. And again, Graciela helped make these, but every one of them it has your name on it and everything, and it has a picture of your kid in there on a card, and they signed it, and they wrote something in it, and most of them, almost every one of them did a drawing for you. And this is a white piece of paper that they did everything on, okay? And this is special. And that's their signature for you. And the littlest kids, even to the biggest kids, wrote something on these. And these are a little personal touch for you guys. And again, my wife was the author of this. I just want to tell you guys, I don't have those kind of good ideas. She's the one with the ideas. And she goes with all, and she's the one who did this, and it's a very special. We're going to pass these out, and if somebody like John, you get some people to pass them out, make sure before you leave, and you're in the Tia Club, make sure you get your little card that we have for you guys. Because that's just a small expression of our gratitude towards you guys. So that's what real religion is helping these kids in their distress. And only God knows how much distress they have. When my kids start telling me their stories, sometimes I want to say stop. Because I don't need to hear all that junk, because sometimes there's so much junk in there. I want to hear about what we're going to do from here forward. Because sometimes there's a lot of stuff in there, and I don't want to be bringing it up all the time. And Jonathan's going to share his testimony right now. And the truth is, when he shared it with me, my jaw dropped open. Because he's been at the orphanage for 12 years now. But when he was a kid, he probably didn't share all these things because you're more embarrassed. But now he's 21, and he knew he was going to share it with you guys, and he just shared it just like it was. And I was like, I couldn't believe what it would be like to be a kid and experience that. I can't believe it. I mean, it's just incredible. So we help them in their distress. We help them. Our mission verse for the orphanage has always been this. It's Psalm 82, 3 and 4. And it says, defend the poor and the fatherless. Defend them. They don't have anybody who will defend them. That's NCPC. That's Reino de los Niños, Kids Kingdom. That's our job. That's the board's job. To defend the poor and the fatherless. They don't have anybody else to defend them. And God has brought you guys into the gap to come in and do that. And we've had a drop in groups coming down the orphanage, a big drop over the years. I mean, it's a lot. I mean, like 80%. And guess who's still there? NCPC. And that's the blessing. You guys are still here, and you're still helping us here. And I just, again, what can I say? Defend the poor and the fatherless, do justice to the afflicted and needy, and deliver the poor and needy, free them from the hand of the wicked. Psalm 82, 3 and 4. That is our mission verse that we use for the orphanage. And I want to say to you guys, it's a blessing. And I could share story after story about our kids and everything about them. I will say one person, and it's on your table there, about Alejandra. Alejandra has muscular dystrophy, which we finally confirmed now. And somebody has already promised to help the treatment for her, because we're going to get a lot of treatment. She went to Mexico City in July, about 3 months ago, and now she's going to go again in July. And she's getting special treatment, and she's eventually going to get into Shriners Hospital. And we're getting the best that we can have. She has treatment, she's taking vitamins, I mean, all the stuff the doctors are giving us. And right now the orphanage budget's a little bit low right now, and it's tough, but we're going to give her the best that we can. Because we love Alejandra. Her mom died of leukemia, and her dad split many years ago, and she's from Oaxaca, south of Mexico, and nobody has any clue who her relatives are. She is ours. She's a Reina de los Niños. She's a Kids Kingdom daughter of the Reina de los Niños. She doesn't have anybody out there. But while she's at the orphanage, she feels like a queen. I mean, she's the queen. I call her my chula. Now, chula vista, it means pretty. I call her my chula because when she came to the orphanage, she wasn't very chula, okay? She wasn't very pretty. But you love them until they get pretty. And that's what we do. And she is beautiful now. In fact, you've probably seen her up on there. She's not on the main pictures there. But she is just beautiful. I saw her on that table right there. If you can pick that picture up right behind you. Pick that one up and put it up there. That is Alejandra, okay? Just turn it around so people can see over here. If anyone wants to see her later. And she is a big blessing. Her brother Raul. And they lived in a little trailer about a block away from the orphanage. I mean, a trailer in a tire shop, okay? I mean, it's about as low as you can get with nothing, bathrooms, anything. And that's where they live. And now they're at the orphanage, and because of you guys, because of the team that the Lord's brought there, she can have a life. She can have a future. And she's going to go, we're going to love that girl all the way, man. I mean, you get a special needs kid like that, and you want to just love them all the way. And she's so wonderful. And I could say more, but you know what? I'm going to give it over to Jonathan right now, because Jonathan has something to share that's very special and touched me, and I know it's going to touch you.